that is a good cup of tea. Hi vloggers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video on how to plan your day. This is coming from a lot of requests from people wanting to know how I organise myself as a self-employed business owner. So I'm going to talk you through how I get done everything that I need to get done and show up where I need to show up. Wow, that is a lot of stuff. If you're trying to figure out how to handle your to-do list, this is going to help you a lot. I think we should actually start off with that, your to-do list. Don't think of it as a to-do list. If you think of it as a to-do list, one of those things that has loads and loads of stuff on it that you need to get done, it's not going to help your productivity. What will help is if you give your tasks a certain level of importance or priority, because you really need to organise your to-do list if you want to get anything done, or else it's just going to be sat there waiting for you to get round to doing it. Your to-do list isn't how you get things done. It just doesn't work that way. And this is why if you want to get things done, you need to take that to-do list and break it up into little manageable chunks. If you don't do that, then stuff isn't going to get done. Now, before we get into the actual details of how I plan my day, there's something very important that you need to do first. This is something that's good to do on a Sunday before the new week begins, and trust me, this is something that's really going to help you. I'm going to be showing you my own method for prioritising and how I manage my time. Here's the breakdown. You have one really overwhelming master list with everything on it. This isn't as important, you don't need to touch this all the time, but this is going to have things on it like updating your Pinterest graphics, rewriting your about page, things that you know you need to get done but that aren't urgent. Then you have a weekly brain dump of everything you need to get done in the upcoming week. Just write it down in a list. So here's an example of what my list might look like. I've got things like weekly blog posts, my newsletter, filming videos, any calls I have or meetings, and then the different work for clients that I have to do. So it doesn't have to be in a particular order in this instance. This list just needs to have everything on there. Leave your main master list for now, we'll get to that later. You then need to go through that list that you've just written out and break those things down. If you just have everything on a weekly to-do list with no deadlines or priorities, that's not going to help you get stuff done. If you then break that down into what you can get done on each day of the week, so if you have an article deadline on Tuesday, you know that needs to be done on Monday, or if a blog post is going live on Thursday, then it needs to be finalised on Wednesday. Basically, you're doing it in terms of priorities. So let me give you an example. On a normal day, I get up between 6 and 6:30 a.m. I either go to the gym or work out at home, and then I get ready and get to work. So I'm usually ready to start working between 8 and 8:30. I don't actually start any client work until around 10 a.m. Why? Because I give myself this little bit of time to get a branch of Holly stuff done first. So this could be things like replying to a few emails I need to get back to, uploading a picture to Instagram, checking social for the day, that sort of thing. I do those little admin-y type things done first because I know that once they're done, then I can get to work. And if you've got an assistant, then you can just hand those things over to your assistant. You can outsource them, which is what my clients do with me, and then you can just get to work even sooner. Then I move on to client work, and the way this works is completely dependent upon what work is involved for each client, how many hours they're contracted to, and what their deadlines are for different tasks. So for example, one client I work with requires a blog post to go live every single day and social media to promote that blog post, so they're almost like daily tasks. One client requires a blog post, video and email to go out each week, so I manage her content on a weekly basis to make sure everything is ready by the deadline. And another client I work with is contracted to 20 hours per month, so I make sure I spread out the 20 hours in a month so I get that amount of time done. Then once the client work is done, so this is usually around 4 p.m. And earlier on Fridays, I then move back to a branch of Holly stuff and carry on working on that kind of thing. So this could be anything from blog post writing to video editing and so on. So what you need to realise about this list is that only the most important stuff needs to go on there. If you're writing things down and you're thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I in charge of this? These are things that you could ask for help with or even outsource. So seriously, even just outsourcing 5 hours per month is going to free you up so much time to work on your other priorities. But if you have to do it, it goes at the bottom of the list. By structuring your time in this way and actually tracking your time, you can start to get ahead of the game. And remember, most of you will already have things on your calendar like dentist appointments, lunch dates, going to work. Is this blocked off on your calendar? Because you need to block off when you're not available so you know what time you actually have to get things done. Have this mindset of visualising everything you need to get done on a daily and weekly basis. This is going to help you get to grips a lot better with the process. And when you've done all that, that's when the other stuff comes into play. So you've got your appointments, you've got your must-do tasks. Now you need to look at your week and see if you've got any other time available so you can do any other tasks that aren't as urgent, but you know that you still want to get them done. For instance, next Tuesday afternoon is usually quite a big content creation afternoon for me, but I actually have a podcast interview and a client call, so I know that I need to get more client work done in advance so I can have that afternoon free for the other things that I need to do. Maybe you have an hour free one evening where you can start working on a task from your master list. If these all have the same level of priority, then just pick one that you fancy doing and just start doing it. Schedule it out and see where everything fits in. But do not lose sight of your goals, because everything you do, every single task that you do, should be helping you take one step forward towards your goals. For instance, one of my main goals for 2018 is to create some products. So one of my task goals for January was to create a reader survey and promote it. And one of my task goals for this month is to analyse the results of that reader survey so I can visualise my next steps. What you don't want to do is not put something on your schedule and either procrastinate on it and forget about it when it was super important and now it's last minute. Get ahead on everything, get it in your planner. In terms of tools, I'm quite an old-fashioned gal when it comes to planning. I have my weekly to-do list on this planner here, so it has all the days of the week in it so I can see everything that I need to do. I have my master list just in a Google Doc, which I store online in Google Drive. And for my content creation calendar, I actually have that stored in Asana, and it's a pretty good system. So if you'd like me to do a video on that, then just let me know. I also have my Power Sheets goal planner, which outlines my yearly, monthly, weekly and daily goals, and my happiness planner, where I can see my monthly overview and keep track of daily tasks and appointments. What's important to realise is that this process is sacred, so only put things on your weekly to-do list that you know you want to get done. You also need to make sure in your weekly plan that you are allocating time for you. I've been there where you just get up and work until you go to bed. Don't be that person. Have you allocated time to shower, to sleep, to exercise, to get ready in the morning, to spend time with your family? These are all things that take up a certain amount of time, and they should feature in your weekly plan. You should have a block of time for every single thing in your day. We all have the same amount of time in a day, and we all have a lot that we need to get through. Maybe you've got a really important appointment coming up that you don't want to miss. Maybe there's a TV show on one night during the week that you really want to watch. Put it in your weekly calendar. That way you won't end the day saying, oh well, I only got this one thing done today and I only crossed this one thing off the to-do list because I was just so overwhelmed with everything else on my list. It's all about the planning. Make it part of your Sunday getting ready evening routine, and then once you've done it, give yourself a reward. I also get a lot of feedback from people saying they run a blog and online presence and they also work full time and they just really struggle to manage their time and get everything done. I've been there and I got everything done using this system. I worked full time, I had my blog, I was starting up my business, and I had my home and my own life too. And I got everything done with this system. Ask for help. Only put things on your list that you know you have time to get done. And this is where your master list really comes in handy. So say you've got guest posters on your blog and one of them falls through, so now you don't have to set a chunk of time aside to format it and get it ready. What can you fill that time with instead? So go and start planning. I hope you have a really great week. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I had a lot of requests for this, so I'm trying to figure out if you guys want to see more of this stuff, and that is a really great way of letting me know. Be sure to catch my first weekly vlog of 2018, which is going live on Sunday, and it's going to be like a behind the scenes of what I've just talked about of my daily and weekly routine, so subscribe so you don't miss it. That's all for today, vloggers. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it, and until Sunday, remember to keep planning so you can get one step closer to a breakthrough. See you next time.